Hey, what's happening, guys? I know why you're here. You saw the thumbnail, $2 million worth of product research in just one day. I want you guys to see exactly how I found these products for my business so you can find some killer products for your business too. So let's jump right in. Okay guys, so I've been working a lot with some newer students of mine recently, and I know the big thing that everybody gets so frustrated with early on in their Amazon journey is just finding the right products. It can seem so overwhelming. Now this video is super exciting. Like I said, I just found more than $2 million worth of products for my own business. Make sure you stick with me all the way to the end of this video because there's one crucial step that I see so many people screw up that I'm going to help you avoid. It's kind of like my secret sauce of finding great products using the right keywords. Now I'm also going to be using my own personal product tracker worksheet that I use to validate the data in all these products. Remember, it's all about the numbers, not your instinct. I also have a link for that down below. Click on that. You can download the same spreadsheet that I used to find all these products just this past weekend. So let's go ahead and jump into the computer and let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I promised in the title of the video $2 million worth of products in just one day, and here it is, $2.2 million. Now, what is that number though, actually? So let's zoom out and take a look here. So that is the potential yearly profit for 24 products that I found doing about 6 hours worth of product research for my own business just this last weekend. So this is my actual product research checklist. So these are the exact numbers that I pulled off of market intelligence. And these are products that we're actually currently sourcing. I just had a meeting with my business partner this morning, and he is already working on 6 out of these 24 products, trying to get them up and running quickly. So I did black out the actual products themselves because we're actively sourcing these, but I am going to show you the exact process that I use to find these products. And it's really, once you get in the rhythm and you kind of understand how the process works, it becomes so easy to fill out a worksheet like this, find 15, 20 like really good products. And then out of these 20 or so, at least half of them are going to be really successful products. All of these columns that are highlighted in yellow, this is the average of all sellers on page one. So I never go into a product just assuming that I'm going to be able to take over the #1 spot, but I always believe that I can get a product ranked and sticking on page one. So I like to do all my initial calculations based on page one calculations, not necessarily just on like the top sellers. So this is an average of everybody on page one. So as you can see, for these 24 products, the average monthly revenue is $14,000. The average monthly reviews is 75. I really like going after lower review count products. I'll pretty much never go after anything with more than 100 reviews, but I even like 50 or less because I want to know if I can get 20, 30 reviews in the first month or two, that this product's going to stick and make me money from month one. The other metric that I think is really important to kind of take a look at is revenue per review. So this means for every review that I'm able to get on a product, how much revenue am I going to be bringing in per month? So anything over 100 is pretty good, but if you can get over like 200 or 300, that's really good revenue per review. And then I've got the yearly potential revenue. So again, this is just on page one. So if I could land 24 products on page one, I could do $4 million a month in revenue. If I actually look at the top 5 numbers and total these up, this is actually 5.8 million sales. So there's actually a lot more potential than what I'm planning for. But I always kind of plan towards the low end. That way, if I exceed those numbers, I'm doing that much better. So if you guys are interested in downloading the spreadsheet, everything that's in one of these colored columns auto-populates. So my profit, my margins, ROI, all that kind of stuff. So all you really need to do is find a product on market intelligence, enter in all this data like monthly searches, monthly sales, all that kind of stuff, and it'll auto-populate all this kind of stuff. So my technique for filling out this spreadsheet is I just want to get as many good looking products on here as quickly as possible. And then for round 2, I'll come in, I'll analyze the numbers, see what my highest potential products are, and then I'll do a deeper analysis into those before we actually go ahead and source those products. So if you're interested in using the spreadsheet, I am going to provide a link below so you can download it for absolutely free. If you have any questions on how to use the spreadsheet after we go through this video, please just leave a comment below. If I need to, I will do a special video just for you guys basically explaining the entire process of how to fill this thing out. But we're actually going to go over some of it in this video right here. So here we are on the product discovery tool homepage on Viral Intelligence. If you caught my last video, I went over a ton of different ways that you can find great products just looking around on Amazon.com and using their search bar autofill feature. So if you missed that one, take a look below. I do have that video linked and you can find some great products that way as well. But this is really one of my favorite ways. I think this is one of the most powerful tools out there in 2018 for finding great products. Now, I do recommend that you get the plan that includes this keyword research tool, and I'm going to show you exactly why as we go through this video. I do have a link below in the description. If you sign up through that link, you'll save yourself some money on the monthly subscription. So getting started here, I start up here with the product discovery tool and click on the search function. So if you scroll across the top here, you'll see 4 different tools that you can use to search the viral launch database. Today, we're just going to focus on the keyword tool because I really think that's like one of the most powerful tools out there. Now, if you come down to this drop-down menu here, you can use a bunch of different viral launch favorites presets. So that they've actually kind of preset a bunch of their tools for some different search techniques. The one I like to start with is private label categories. So what that'll do, it won't populate any of the advanced filters or any of the basic filters up here, but it will give you the category filters. Now I do like to go through these though, because a couple of these categories I don't think are appropriate for an entry-level private label seller. Appliances, I don't think is good. Computers and electronics, I try to stay away from. Just too many like warranty issues. Imagine how many electronics you've had that break all the time. You don't really want to have to deal with the hassle of doing returns and replacements and stuff all the time. So I'll unclick those. I also like to unclick beauty and personal care because that brings up a bunch of like supplements and hair care, skin care stuff that you have to get ungated for. The cell phone accessories I unclick just because I know it's a really saturated market. And then the handmade products I also unclick. Now, once you've got these categories selected, however you choose to set them up, this is a cool feature they have. You can click on this gear icon and actually save as, and then save it as one of your favorites. So I actually had this set up as one of my favorite presets. You can also save if you start messing around with these with the basic or the advanced filters. You can save those searches as well, so you can come back in and look using the same search parameters. Now, they have a lot of really cool advanced filters. I'm going to go over some of these in future videos, but again, I want to keep this simple and show you the exact methods that I used just this last weekend to find so many great products without really getting into like the complexities of really mastering the software. So a few things that I like to check here. For average monthly review, I usually do a minimum of at least $3,000 to $4,000 a month. You can start a little bit lower if you're a brand new seller and you don't have a whole lot of money to get started. But you'll find that the amount of work it takes to get a product off the ground initially, it's really not worth going after a product where you're only going to be making, $1,000 or $2,000 a month. Again, unless you're really limited on a budget, you could start maybe a little lower. For average price, we're actually going to do something a little bit different. Most private label sellers will tell you that kind of the sweet spot for private label products is like $15 to about $50 or $60, which I tend to agree with for the most part. But so many people are searching for those numbers. I like to think a little bit outside the box and look at some different numbers. So since this is kind of focused on people that are struggling getting like their first couple products off the ground, I'm actually going to start with a lower price point. So this is stuff that you could potentially source for like $1 or $2 and make $4, $5, $6 profit per item. Multiply that a couple times over, then you can start getting into some bigger products. So I'm going to set $10 to $14 for our average price. Average monthly sales, I'm not really that concerned about because I'm getting my minimum revenue using this filter right here. And then review count, I definitely recommend going under 100 for this, but I like to go even lower if I can because the lower the review count, the lower the barrier to entry for me to get into the product category, especially if I'm going to source like a kind of a lower priced entry level product. And I really, if I'm a new seller and really need to hit it out of the park with that first product, definitely having a lower review count is going to help you get on page 1 quicker. So that's all that I'm going to do in terms of all these filters. And again, there's a lot of different like stuff that you can do with these advanced filters, but I just want to keep it basic and show you how easy it can be to find a bunch of products to add to your list. So once the results have populated, this is a great feature that Viral Launch added. So In 2017 and earlier, everybody was using Jungle Scout, and they have a similar interface, and everybody was finding the exact same product. So something that looked like amazing in April was completely ruined and totally saturated by June. Think of like fidget spinners, like camping hammocks, all these kinds of things now that you can definitely tell are saturated. Nobody knew in 2017 because everybody was using the same tools to go after the same stuff. Well, Viral Launch has actually put this like warning flag in their system. So anytime a certain number of people have saved or clicked on a certain search, it'll give you one of these like warning flags saying, "Hey, stay away from this product. Tons of people are looking at it right now, so it's probably going to become saturated here in the coming months." So a couple of things that I like to look for when I'm looking through these products. First of all, I sort by idea score, which is Viral Launch's kind of algorithmic way of figuring out what they think is a really good private label product. So I sort by idea score, and then I take a look at this right here. In the blue, it'll give you the exact search volume and the broad search volume. Now you'll only get this if you paid for the keyword research tool that I talked about earlier, but I think it's really important to see the keyword volume because that's going to be one of the crucial steps in validating these products that we find. So what I like to look for is something that's getting at least 2,000 exact searches a month. That means 2,000 people are going on to Amazon, typing that exact word, and that kind of gives me a good feeling that there's enough search volume to really support the sales volume that I'm looking for. So let's see if any of these items meet that criteria. So Fiesta party supplies. I just have a feeling this is probably artificially inflated because Cinco de Mayo is coming up, so I'm going to skip over that one. Here's one though. So 5D diamond painting. I don't know if that's a brand or what, but I'm going to click on this blue square right here on the far left, and that's going to run a search for this in the market intelligence tool. And basically what they're doing is they're taking the data from Amazon. Basically, it's just like doing a search on page one of Amazon, pulling all the BSR data and estimating your sales volume. So we'll come back and take a look at that once it's done searching, but let's take a look at page two. So again, I'm still looking for like a 2,000 exact word volume. So slime containers with lids, we've got 5,000. So let's take a look at that. Here's slime containers, 50,000. That might be a similar search. Let's take a look at page three. Okay, so rose gold balloons, 10,000 a month. Mochi or mochi squishy. I don't know what that is, but that sounds like it might be like a trademark, like brand name or something. So I'm going to stay away from that. Women's shirts, something like that. That's too broad, even though the search volume is really good. Let's take a look at one more page and then go take a look at our results. Here's an orthopedic bunion corrector with 3,000 searches a month. So let's take a look at that. So it can be really tempting when these results come up to just jump right down into the numbers and start dropping these into a spreadsheet and determining whether or not you're going to try to source this product. But so many people miss this, and this is the most crucial step, I think, in this process, is to actually find the right words that are driving all of this revenue volume. So my favorite tool for that, like I alluded to earlier, is this keyword research tool. So I'm going to bring that up and show you exactly how I find the best keywords to rank for when I'm looking at these products and validating the actual market for these products. So I'm going to copy this 5D diamond painting and drop this into the keyword research tool. Now, once this is done pulling up the data, I'll come down here and sort by exact search volume. So now I've got a much more accurate picture of where the search volume is coming for this word. So 5D diamond painting, it's telling us, hey, you got the 5-star product here. Look at all this revenue that everybody's doing. But they're only getting 14,000 searches a month. Take a look at what's actually getting the searches. So we've got diamond painting. That's getting 50,000 searches a month. So this is the market we're actually going after, not 5D diamond painting. This is like a sub niche within this market. So diamond painting is the term that we're actually concerned about finding the data for. So I am going to do a search for that, or run the market intelligence tool on that to find out what the true numbers are for this market. Another great thing I love about this keyword research tool is I probably find at least half of my products just off of this list right here. So we were looking for 5D diamond painting. By searching for that, we found diamond painting is actually the main search keyword.
But it also shows me all these other related terms that are getting a lot of keyword volume. So cross stitch kits is getting 25,000 a month, and I never would have known this category even existed if I wasn't following the data for the search word volume. So I'm going to go ahead and run the market intelligence tool on that. So while that data is pulling for market intelligence, let's take a look at diamond painting. So remember, we searched 5D diamond painting before. We had 14,000 search volume. Now we're searching the actual root word diamond painting. Now we can get a much better idea of what the market looks like. So in case you missed my last video, the first two things I like to do when I'm looking at this data is one, I sort by the monthly revenue from high to low. And I'm looking to see that there's a lot of people on page one doing pretty well. So I don't want to see one person doing 50,000 a month and everybody else doing 2,000 a month. I want to see the revenue spread across everybody on page one. And I want to see at least 8 to 10 people doing like $5,000 a month or more in sales. So as we can see, the entire the top 20 listings here, probably top 15 listings are doing at least 5,000 a month. And this revenue is spread pretty evenly across this group. So that's a really good sign there. Next thing I like to do is go over to review quantity and sort from low to high. This way I can find out how successful these newer sellers are doing. So this guy that only has 5 reviews is already doing 12,000 a month in sales. We've got somebody with 16 reviews, 6,000, 22 reviews, 6,000, 25 reviews, 10,000. So this looks like a really high potential product that we could add. So what I'll do now is actually aggregate this data onto my spreadsheet so I can come back and look at it later and determine what the best products that I found that day are. So I'll click on this detailed statistics tab, and this breaks things down into the top 5 listings, top 10 listings, and all of page one. So I like this because it kind of gives you a good idea of how spread the revenue and the reviews are across page one. So I'll look at the average price here. So it's about $11 here, $12, $11. So we'll call it about $11.50. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my product research sheet. I'm going to do diamond painting because that was the keyword that we found. Estimated landing cost. There's actually a cost calculator on the Viral Launch tool that's pretty accurate. I've actually compared this to some of my own products. So this estimates your landed unit cost right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into the spreadsheet. And then all of this other stuff is going to autofill the Amazon fees, shipping, profit margins, ROI, all that kind of stuff is going to fill in for me. So now all I have to do is take the rest of this data, and I've got a 10 product score. So that's what this is right here, the market intelligence product score. Monthly searches, I have 49,000. The top 5 average sales, we've got 830 for top 5, 850 for top 10, and 700 for page 1. So I usually just round those to the nearest 10 or so. Then monthly revenue, we've got 8,000, 10,000, and 8,000. And then average reviews, we've got 43, 33, and 34. So entering all that data, then the rest of this sheet will auto-populate. So I've got my revenue per review. So we've got about $180 to $200 revenue per review, which is really good. Now we've got yearly revenue potential of about $100,000 and yearly profit potential of about $50,000 to $60,000. So just this very first product that we looked at is potentially a $60,000 a year profit product. So that's a great product, especially considering there's only 30 or 40 reviews. Now that I've got all this data in here, it's time to go ahead and move on and find more products. The faster you can populate this chart with really good potential products, the quicker you can get to the product validation part and actually find the products that you are going to decide to source. So the diamond painting ended up being a really good product. Let's take a look at the slime containers. We're going to do the same thing here. So this is slime containers with lids. I have a feeling that is not the highest search keyword. So I'm going to go back to my keyword research tool. We're going to search slime containers with lids, and we're going to find out where our actual search volume is coming from. So in this case, our search volume for slime containers with lids was only 5,000, but slime containers was 50,000. So that looks like a much better term to search for. And let's see if we find any other products on here. So we've got, here's plastic containers at 20,000 a month. That's probably a little bit too broad because that could include some like kitchen related products, slime stuff, more plastic containers. So I don't really see anything else on this page for slime containers, but we'll run the numbers for slime containers. Let's take a look at cross-stitch kits. We found that one earlier. We know that's got 25,000 searches, but again, I think we can probably find something that's even higher search volume. So let's take that term, cross-stitch kits, run a search for that in the keyword tool. And in this case, we can actually see that cross-stitch kits at 25,000 actually is the highest search term. So we don't need to dig any further into that one. We can go ahead and take a look at the numbers. Let's go to the detailed statistics real quick. We can already see, so 2,000 a month for the top 5, 2,000 for top 10, 2,000 for 1,700 for page 1. So that's a little bit too low for me, so I'm not going to dig into that one anymore. We'll go ahead and close that one out. So the slime container search, let's see what we got there. So detailed statistics tell us we got 7,000 or so in revenue across the top 10 and 5,000 on page 1. So those look like some pretty good numbers. So let's take a quick look at the review quantity, sorting from low to high, see how our new sellers are doing. So here you can see we've got a seller with 8 reviews doing 7,000 a month already, 12 reviews doing 5,000 a month, another 5,000 with 19 reviews. So we definitely got some newer sellers doing pretty well. So let's go ahead and copy the data for this one over into our spreadsheet. We can take a look at our final results here, and we've got revenue per review of over $200, yearly revenue potential of about 80 to 90,000, and yearly profit potential of about 30 to 50,000. So another really good kind of low price, like entry level product to look at. So let's go ahead and finish up our searches here with we had rose gold balloons we searched earlier. So remember, the most important step is to actually dump that into our keyword research, find out which keywords are getting the most volume. So in this case, we have 11,000 for rose gold balloons. It looks like birthday decorations are actually our biggest search, but that's a little bit too broad. I like something a little bit more narrow. So after that, we've got confetti balloons, rose gold decor at 16,000 and 14,000. So in this case, like this is actually a pretty good search term in and of itself, but we might have actually just found 2 additional categories. So maybe we can source rose gold balloons and confetti balloons and some rose gold decor. So we might actually have found 3 good product categories. But let's go ahead and validate that with our numbers. So detailed statistics tell us $6,000 a month for the top 5 listings and about 4,000 to 5,000 for the rest of page 1. Our review counts are super low, so this could be a super easy one to get into. $5,000 or $6,000 a month product. Again, we would just copy all this data over into our spreadsheet, and we've got another potential product. Let's go ahead and finish things out with our last product that we found was the orthopedic bunion corrector. So we're going to drop that into the keyword tool, find out our highest ranking keywords. So now we can see that orthopedic bunion corrector was actually a longer tail version of these much more higher searched terms. So we've got bunion corrector. Let's take a look at that. Toe separators, which sounds related, but maybe even a different market. So let's take a look at the numbers for those two. All right, so our bunion corrector, let's take a look at detailed statistics. We've got 50,000 a month in revenue, 30,000, 20,000. So killer revenue. But look at these review counts. So we got 500, 300, 200. So this is really kind of a competitive product. We'll go ahead and take a look, sorting by review quantity. Maybe there's a couple successful sellers that have managed to kind of sneak on to page 1, giving us some hope that we could jump in. But generally speaking, it looks like this might be a little too competitive. We do have somebody here, so 10 reviews, 13,000. 20 reviews, 13,000, 21 reviews, 10,000. So it looks like there's actually, even though these review counts are really high, it's because they're skewed by these guys. Looks like there's 3 or 4 sellers with like multiple thousands of reviews. But there's actually a ton of people on page 1 doing $5,000 to $10,000 a month with a really low review count. So even though the detailed statistics at first glance didn't look that good, this could actually be a pretty good product as well. So let's take a quick look at our toe separators. So here we've got 15,000 revenue for the top 5, 10,000 and 7,000 for page 1. Review counts though are a little bit high, so 300, 250, 240. So that's looking like it could possibly be a little bit too competitive, but again, we'll go ahead and take a look by review quantity and see if there's any newer sellers that are doing well. So in this case, we can see really the first guy that's making over $5,000 has over 100 reviews. This is the kind of market that I'm not likely to be able to succeed in unless I can get up to or at least 100 reviews, which is going to take way too much time and money. So I would definitely not look at this product any further. So what I'll do is go ahead and fill out the spreadsheet with the rest of this data, and then we'll take one final look at where we are with all these products. And let's take a look at our results. So I put in the numbers for rose gold balloons and bunion corrector. And check these out. For rose gold balloons, revenue per review between 300 and 2,000. So, I mean, these review counts are super low, and people are doing $4,000 to $6,000 a month on rose gold balloons. So that's definitely like a great beginner level product. The bunions are doing amazing sales numbers. But these are the actual unit sales a month. So if you wanted to jump into something like this, you'd be talking at least a 3,000 unit minimum first order. So that might be a little bit too high of a volume, but it just shows you that like there are people on page one with only like 10, 20 reviews already doing 10, 15,000 a month with these things. We only spent about 20 minutes going through this process, but I walked you step by step through the exact process that I used. I found 24 great products in about 6 hours. So budget some time for yourself, sit down for 2 or 3 hours, fill out the spreadsheet, get 15, 20 products on here, and then decide what your target number is. Maybe it's a certain ROI you want to hit. Maybe it's a certain maximum review count that you want to try to compete with. Maybe you just don't have enough money to order 2,000 or 3,000 units on your first run. So you find something like these balloons that are selling like 300 or 400 a month, and you do an initial order of like 800 to 1,000 units. You just have to decide what makes sense for your business, but you cannot possibly make that decision without having this data. And there's no reason to actually have to recreate this process for yourself. Download that spreadsheet that I've got posted below. Watch this video over and over again a couple times and go through it step by step exactly how I did, starting with the product research tool, narrowing down and finding our keyword that's driving most of the traffic, putting everything in this spreadsheet, and then taking a look at the numbers for yourself and deciding which products that you want to source for your business.
So there you have it, guys. That's exactly how I found $2 million worth of products for my own business just last weekend. I walked you through step by step the whole process of how to find this stuff for yourself. So hopefully you guys learned a ton of great information from this video. If you did, please look below and hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell. That way YouTube will let you know when future videos of mine come out. And just a reminder, guys, I did link that spreadsheet that I used below. Don't reinvent the wheel on this one. Download that spreadsheet. It'll save you so much time and it'll help you validate your numbers. If you have any questions at all about how to use that spreadsheet, please leave a comment below. I will read those. I'll also be looking for things that you guys need in future videos. That way I can publish more content that'll help you guys out growing your businesses. So until the next time, I'm Matthew Fitchner. This is my channel, Freedom Rising, and I'll see you guys on the next one.